Welcome to everyone, our wonderful High Five Live community. We're so grateful to be together today, and we have a treat for you you will never forget.
We
You
are
are
so
about to
appreciative
meet
of him coming.
Siope Kinikini, and if you want to make him feel good, say "Malolale." Feel right at home.
Right. Malolale.
Oh, and to our viewers, as you jump on, we would love to have you let us know where you are viewing from. We'd love to see how far our reach is. And today, it may not be very far because we know that BYU, the church's women's conference at BYU, is having a general session right now.
So share it with everyone else, and they can all watch it later.
You can watch the replay later right here on High Five Live. And we invite you to like their page and just see all the wonderful videos daily that are so inspirational. And we hope today will also be.
We don't hope. We know it will be.
We know it will be. That's right.
Because isn't there an amazing need for helping and healing relationships in all of our lives?
Mm-hmm.
So we're thrilled to have Siope with us. Let's give you a little biographical information so you can understand his great life of service and dedication.
That's right. So 19 years of coaching, right? He has empowered hundreds of families to
Thousands.
create tremendous change by giving them a clear path forward. Siope is the director of Smarter Parenting, which is a free online resource to help parents learn skills to address behavioral issues with their children. What a gift. Siope is also the host of the ADHD Smarter Parenting podcast, and he is a licensed mental health counselor and has worked with people and families struggling with various issues, including anxiety and depression and trauma and bipolar disorders and victims of sexual abuse and so forth. Wow. He's the son of immigrant parents who moved to the U.S. for a better life. But he's retained his interest in helping underserved populations, including Pacific Islanders and those in the Latin communities also, and families in the deaf community. That is amazing.
Because he also knows ASL.
Yes.
One of those other skills.
And that I love that he spends his spare time doing family history. Woo!
When he's not in the Tabernacle Choir.
That's right. Singing bass.
Bass
right?
in the Tabernacle Choir.
And he's also the author of 3 books on his ancestors. And he is married to the beautiful Liana with a teenage daughter. They have a teenage daughter and a little doggy named Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Did we kind of cover it?
You covered it. Yeah. That was great.
You can contact him on Instagram at Smarter Parenting.
So Siope,
go.
of all the kinds of things you could be involved in your life, you chose to be involved in helping and healing relationships. I mean, we know from the scriptures that one of the only 2 things we take with us is our relationships, and this is eternally significant. But what got you into this, and why were you interested? Tell us a little about your story.
So I started off going to school. I wanted to become a lawyer, which is kind of surprising. So I took the LSAT after my bachelor's degree with the desire to go into law. And I got in the interim, I found a job working with families, and I fell in love with it. Like it was something I just loved to do, and to see transformations happening with people. And after discussing it with my wife, we moved in this direction, and we've been here ever since. So my wife is a nurse practitioner, so she's in a helping field, and wow. I am in mental health, so I'm in a helping field. So it just kind of made sense for us. We kind of both are driven by helping people.
That's because you both have hearts of gold.
That's for sure.
Oh, you're so nice. Oh, dear.
Well, we know a lot of people that know you, and they talk to us about how remarkable you are. So that's
right. In fact, Denise Kimber, one of your employees, was on our show here, our broadcast a few weeks ago. And when she was finished, she said, "You have got to get my boss." So she's the one that hooked us up, and we're grateful.
We are very grateful.
Oh, she's great. She's fantastic. I love her.
Yeah. So as we begin, then, what are some of the guiding principles that you would tell people that you would share with us to help families heal and just be elevated and get along better? And, just explain kind of your philosophies.
My goal, the work that I'm doing right now is with parents and with children, families, and the large part of what happens is the inability to really communicate, like really core communication between a child and a parent. Usually all frustrations come from a lack of communication or an understanding of the other person or where they're coming from. So one of the key essential things, and my wife and I have established this in our relationship, is how to communicate with each other in ways that are effective for us. And it's not the same for everybody, but how to recognize signs here and there. My wife may not verbally say something, but she's always communicating something to me. And so being aware of those things is helpful. Now, she's way better at it than I am. And I have to work at it a little bit more, but she can read me really well. We have a really mutual communication that works for us. So communication, I would say, is one of the biggest things for parents to help reduce the stress, but also build a stronger relationship with each other.
So how do you develop those skills? I mean, it doesn't come naturally to everybody.
Yeah, you have to be very intentional about this, and you both have to have the same goal in mind to reach this. Now, when you're dealing with a parent and child, the parent has to give a lot more because the child is unable to really, express what the boundaries are. So, but it does require being very intentional in what you do, being very specific in what you want out of the communication. We use something called the teaching family model, which is the model that I use with families. And that model has steps that you follow. So if you're going to effectively communicate, follow these steps. And what's interesting is there are like 6 steps, but you only reply on the 4th step. There's a lot of listening that happens beforehand before you actually reply. So it's really great. The teaching family models is fantastic for that. It gives you steps. So.
Where do you find these resources? If people want to know more about that, I know you have remarkable resources available. So tell us a little about that.
Yeah, so the program I'm over is Smarter Parenting. You can find it at smarterparenting.com. If you jump over there, you will see behavioral skills that parents can implement and use. You'll also see the ways that you can implement these skills with children who struggle with anxiety, depression, ADHD, just various issues, the most common ones that children struggle with. So smarterparenting.com, that's where you can access these resources. And there's short video clips that teach you how to use these skills.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
That's great.
So I've watched a bunch of those, and I love the idea that parents need to be vulnerable with their kids. They need to be open. They need to recognize their own weaknesses and be able to express those in a way that children can feel safe in expressing their own. That empathy that you talk about, it's amazing and helpful for us to realize we don't have to be super parents. We can be genuine and be real.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Yeah. Be real. Just be yourself.
So what are some of the scenarios that families face, maybe that come in a lot for help from you, like and Smarter Parenting?
So with the pandemic, it's been interesting because I've seen more people reaching out for coaching, and we just do it through Zoom where we communicate. A lot of them have to do with tantrum behaviors, outbursts, violence. Sometimes we're just dealing with a couple issues, and parents who come to parenting with their own baggage. We all come to parenting and raising children with our own things that we need to work on and fix in order to move forward. And so even a parent who says, I don't want to raise my child the same way my parents raised me, what they're saying is they don't want to do it that way, but they don't have a replacement for it. And that tends to be more often the case. So we provide real great structure for parents to follow so they can do that.
Marvelous.
So sometimes it's been that if somebody didn't like what was done to them, the pendulum swings so far the other way that then we get out of balance in another direction.
Yeah.
And we need that middle ground to really say, here's some core principles that we can apply.
Yeah, I've been coaching a parent in Australia, and what's been fascinating is that something that she had responded with was, these are skills, and so I know I can learn skills. I know I can follow steps. So it's comforting for her because she doesn't have to think too much about it. She can just follow the steps and let it guide her along this path towards a better relationship with her child. So it's been great. And I've been super grateful to coach some of the brightest and most brilliant parents out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're really smart. They just need a little bit of help, and that's fine. That's what I'm here for.
Right. That's right. And we are grateful that you're here so we can get this word out, because
So
to have
true.
free resources like that,
Yeah.
it can actually help you make the changes that you need without, like you say, being stressed about it. Just,
And I love
follow
the fact that you
program.
didn't say it's parents that are always failing. It's right parents that are succeeding, but want to make a better choice and want to improve their relationship with their kids. And that's, you talk about gathering, it starts at home, and we're going to gather a family at the house to get them to really feel unified. And then we branch out from there, which you've done. You've branched out a lot in your own family.
And you've written 3 books about your ancestors. And so, that connection we feel and you feel, and we hope to share with others, that to have a connection with the past like that can be the turning point for kids sometimes, to feel like they belong to something bigger, right?
Yes.
So tell us about those books and your feelings about those loved ones.
And I have to say that your story about the fact you even moved back to Tonga to be with your grandparents to spend time, that's an amazing touch from the past. So please tell us about that.
So with my grandparents, they both joined the church as they were the first members. And so they have a pretty rich history back in Tonga, both the Paletua side, which is my mother's side, and the Kinikini side, which is my father's. And I have a family tree. Can you see that in the back? Yeah.
Yes,
I
would love that.
I am a huge genealogy person, so there's pictures of my ancestors on the trees. Anyways, I know it's kind of weird, but I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So with my grandparents, I was reading a biography. I can't remember who it was, of an early pioneer, and he stated that his grandson wrote the biography. And it said that my grandfather was so busy living his life as a pioneer, he didn't have time to jot it down or write anything. So it was up to the next generation to share, because they were connected. And I felt that deeply. So I started writing for my grandfather on my father's side, then my grandfather on my mother's side, and then an additional book, because their contribution in the Pacific for both of them has been pretty profound in the Tongan community. So it's
That
just
is
my
wonderful.
tie-in. Yeah.
So are these books available to purchase?
They
Amazon?
are. You can find my grandfather's on my mother's side on Amazon. So his came about in a collaboration with my mom and her sister, and really promptings from Elder Groberg, really. So they were friends. So if you've seen the movie The Other Side of Heaven 2, that my grandfather is the story depicted in there. He is the missionary that left his family. That's their story. So we wanted to be sure to read.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's incredible. That is really cool.
And it seems that in studying families like that, you have found an anchor yourself and provide that for your family. And I guess other families get that too from linking up with their past, right?
Yeah. You can learn a lot from people in your past, and we are all connected to our past. And it really does give us a focus on where to go in the future. And so spending the time, for me, Sundays is a perfect time for me to reflect back, work on projects at our family history. My wife loves it too, so we're both into that. And it's just a great way to spend time as a family working together on projects. And because really we're the tie to the next generation from the previous generation. So it's important for us to be sure we make that connection work, make it link.
And it does take effort, but oh, it's so fun.
So
Yeah,
she's
isn't
family
it?
history enthusiastical, she
Yes,
calls it.
that's me. I think we're born under the same star.
You know what? When I meet Elijah, I'm going to say, you kept me up all night. I don't know what the deal is, but I did not get sleep because I was up doing genealogy all the time.
Yes.
Well, I can imagine that children who have been through traumatic experiences, when they find out their ancestors did too, you know, that they had things they had to overcome. And so I can see this being, and have seen it, being an amazing tool to help children feel part of something bigger, to help them see the world in a different way and to see themselves in a different way. So I think writing these books is just wonderful.
So exciting.
to
We can't
pass
wait to
on.
read it.
That's right, all
So
of them.
any special experiences you would like to share with us from all your lifetime of helping and healing that might give us a view of the personal nature of this work?
Yeah. So with coaching families, what you'll find is that even small changes will have dynamic effects. I've had parents contact me after one session of coaching where they've implemented what we are teaching them from the teaching family model, and they report, "Wow, I didn't think it would be this easy as far as like what to do." But I've seen changes happen already. And I have to remind them, you know, you change one part of the system because every family exists in a system. You change one part of that, the entire system has to adjust. And so parents just making slight changes makes a difference. But the experience I think I want to share is I received an email from a father whose family I worked with maybe 12 years ago. His son returned home from a mission and he wanted to invite me over for the mission homecoming. You know, unfortunately, COVID kept me away, but how touching, because it was a very difficult family. We had worked multiple times together in order to get a system for the family together that would work. And it was good to see this young man had made a transition. He made a change in his life, a complete change, and he's doing good things. So the father was very appreciative. Haven't seen him in like since that time, but he still remembers the things we learned while we were together. So
Wow.
Love that.
Such an amazing service you
You
do.
are making a difference, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you sharing this and letting people know of these wonderful resources and your amazing life. Wow, you are an example. I just wonder, I'm still reading things that I didn't even say in your bio. And is there anything you don't do and don't love? You're just one of these people that just
Can do anything.
Yeah.
I love
You know,
food,
grateful
but food
for
doesn't love
acting.
me. That's yeah, no, it's just any opportunity I have to learn or to grow, I say yes to. So, and then it just takes me along weird paths, I guess. I guess that's where it works, right?
Weird and wonderful, right?
Yeah. So great.
We sure appreciate you being with us today. And you are such an example. It says here that you've worked with BYU instructional design in their design
Yes.
program.
Yes.
What's that about?
So they help with the design of the website and the parenting class. So what you find on the website, the parenting class, you can sign up for a parenting class where you watch the videos and take a quiz and get a certificate at the end. But they were instrumental. So I need to shout out to Professor Peter. That's what I called him in instructional design. He's fantastic to work with, and his students were great. So very, very grateful to them for their help.
Wonderful. And then it also says that you work with Operation Underground Railroad.
Yeah, I worked with them, did a training for their agencies that were caring for children who were human trafficked in Uganda. So traveled with them to Uganda, provided the training while I was there for those agencies and those leaders. And they're a great friend to us. And we're so appreciative of all the work that they do as well. So
Amen.
Well, we have people on today from all over the world, and you have influenced people from all over the world. So thank you so much, Siope. It's
Thank
just a
you.
privilege to get to know you better. And thank you for all you do. And again, get on that beautiful website, smarterparenting.com.
And I love how it says smarter, because like you said, parents try, you know what, for the most part, I think, unless it's an unusual case, parents really want to do well and they love their kids. And sometimes they do just need a little help to get over that hump, to find ways to communicate better and to have a better atmosphere in the home and to teach the principles that they want their children to know and love and carry on.
Amen. Amen to that.
Thank you so much. And we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Just remind everybody to share this so people from all over the world will have their opportunity to find these wonderful tools, unite their family more completely, and prepare for wonderful eternal blessings.
That's right. Thanks, Siope. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.